I loved being part of the process of helping develop a play with a playwright. And one day I suddenly thought, I'm really giving a lot of energy to help develop someone else's artistic vision, as an actor, but do I have an artistic vision? I stayed here because I was determined to have an artistic career here. At the time I made that choice, a lot of people told me that wasn't going to happen, that it wasn't possible to do because you had to go to New York, you had to go to LA. And I've found that it's possible and it works. And you make the work that you love where you are. Massachusetts saw a future for me in the Commonwealth.
The biggest thing that the grant did for me over the course of this year is given me time to be here in my studio, painting, but also just looking to be thinking about the work that I'm making and how it is in the world. Engineers from MIT were in there working on computers while I was working on my painting. We had a lot of great conversations, they would be like, what are you doing?
One day they had a poet in the schools come to visit, who was Merceditas. They decided to have, at the end of the day, a voluntary workshop. And at the end of it, he pulled me aside and said, you seem as if you actually really write poems. And I was telling him I do just as a hobby, and he's the one who said, there are grants here. It was amazing to me because it was $10,000. It was more money than I'd ever had at one time. But also that it's the first time I'd ever tried to do anything like that. That sort of changed everything.
I've always been drawn to very, very slow, time-consuming art-making techniques. And I encountered an antique piece of quilling when I was out junking one day. Through a series of sort of weird connections, people who online pay attention to this paper technique that I use, the work went viral, and I got a lot of really nice attention and just a lot of doors open for me. One of which was a gallery I had been interested in for 10 years, and he's sold my first body of work. The fellowship was great because I had been in the middle of the biggest, most ambitious piece I had made to date. I took about 6 months to make it, and so that was 6 months where the money I had made from my previous body of work was dwindling, and so there was this nice infusion, like, this long, slow piece the gods are smiling on it. So.
One of just 3 Cambodian master potters to survive the brutal Khmer Rouge genocide of the 1970s, Yari Levan is the only keeper of this tradition known to be living in the United States today.
I'm planting the art tree on the land of low. Right now, the tree will grow up, and the roots, a lot of roots, we hard to move out. Mm-hmm. The root will longer and longer. The root is communicate to the people.
Yari's mastery has twice been recognized by the Massachusetts Cultural Council. First with a Traditional Arts Apprenticeship grant in 2010, and then a prestigious Artist Fellowship in the Traditional Arts in 2012. The latter enabled him to rent space at Western Avenue Studios in Lowell and helped him realize a decades-long dream of building a wood-burning kiln. 2015, Yari received a National Heritage Fellowship, the country's highest honor in the folk and traditional arts. Despite this achievement, Yari's humility and devotion to the Cambodian tradition continues.